Hey, Caitlin.
Hi, we're back.
We are back with another lovely episode,
Here
which
we
I
are.
need to get my notes out for. There it is. All right, so this is one of your favorite things.
This
It's
is
it's
one
one
of
of
my
mine too,
favorite
but I'm
things.
not featured.
Well,
Um,
as we've established, I have a lot of opinions, so this was just another arena for me to showcase all of the many opinions that I have. We're talking stock versus original photography today.
yeah, which should be really interesting. So you're talking with Jesse, our Chief Creative Officer,
Yes,
and so Caitlin, as I think we've talked about, maybe we have at
I
least
think
once or
so.
twice. I think we got into that not safe for work episode talking about your
Probably.
photography you don't do. But Caitlin is a photographer, shoots mostly people, families,
Yes.
things like that. Does a really great job at that. Really beautiful photos.
Well,
Always very
thanks.
impressed. And she also helps with websites. Well, it helps with guides websites,
hmm
runs the show when we're building websites.
Yes.
So has a bit of an opinion about stock versus original. Jesse does too. There's kind of a time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, so we'll be talking about that today. Well, they will be. I will not be talking about it. I will be off somewhere while they were recording this. I don't know
doing
where.
doing important things
Of
to
course,
as yet to be determined.
I'm sure. And one of those is I will not be drinking a whiskey pickleback, which is our cocktail for this
Why
show.
not?
Oh my god, makes me just want to vomit.
That's really not super surprising, I guess. Is it the whiskey or is it the pickle? Or is it the combination of the two?
So I'm not a huge whiskey person,
Uh-huh.
first of all.
Uh-huh.
And then just putting pickle juice with it sounds really not like my thing. I love pickles, so I
Okay.
love that briny,
Yeah,
pickly,
yeah.
like that's
Like a
great.
salt, vinegar.
Pickled
Yum.
potato chips,
Yes.
all
Yes.
good. But yeah, this one's always confused me. So did Jesse like these? Like, is
Hmm?
that he does?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
One of the reasons we opted for this as a cocktail is because one of his favorite local beers is the Pickle Juice from Jackson Street Brewing, which is also has a picture of my friend Rick on it. Rick is like a big beer drinker and
So Rick
brews
is
his own.
on the
I'm
beer
pretty
can or
sure.
bottle.
I'm pretty sure it's the pickle juice sour that Rick's because he is like Pickle Rick. Like I think it's from Rick and Morty, right? We're
Okay.
like really in the rabbit hole here, but Rick's face is on a can of beer from Jackson Street Brewing. I'm pretty sure it's this one.
Okay. And we're thinking it's this one. So,
Yes. Either
so
way, Rick is one of my nearest and dearest friends, and he deserves his face on a can of beer,
of course,
whether it's
everybody
this
does.
one or any
I think
other.
everybody does. Everybody deserves their face on a can of something, a bottle of something. I'm back to like putting my bottle on a face of wine so my friends will know I'm missing, like that kind of thing. I got the milk jug. That's not going to help.
Mm-mm.
So we got kind of a twofer. We've got the pickle juice sour from Jackson Street Brewing,
Mhm.
and you've got a whiskey pickleback. Do you want to explain to people what a whiskey pickleback
Yeah,
is?
yes. A whiskey pickleback is really just like a shot of whiskey, and then you chase it with pickle juice, and it's decent. I am with you that I'm not like a super big whiskey drinker, so that part is not appealing to me, but I do love a pickle. So I also don't love sour beer.
Yeah. Okay. So the pickleback, it's like
It's legitimately pickle juice.
after.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do my shot of whiskey and then a smaller shot of pickle juice, and then do I suck on the lime, or does the lime go in something?
Oh, I don't do them with lime.
Okay. Well, the official recipe is
The
one and a
official
half ounces
recipe
of
has
lime
lime.
juice.
Maybe then
Maybe
see,
in the
here's the
pickle
other thing
juice.
is, like, this recipe calls for 3 ounces of whiskey, and, like, that's a lot. Because like, a shot is an ounce and a half, so you're really doing, like, a double.
Yeah. I wonder
If
if
this
this
is
is a
meant to be
mixed
shaken.
drink.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that.
I mean,
Will somebody let us know? Will you, like, tweet at us or send us a comment?
well,
Help us understand how we're supposed to drink whiskey picklebacks.
I know when producer Zach posts these, we post the recipe, and usually it has more than just like the ingredients.
Yeah.
So that will probably say whether you throw all this together and shake it, or you do this double shot of whiskey, which makes you not worry so much
You're
about the
less
pickle
concerned
juice.
about the pickle. Yeah.
Wow. I think this is the first time a cocktail has remotely confused us.
We usually know what we're doing.
Yeah, and we are not drinking this one right now, just
Mm-mm.
FYI. That's if you couldn't tell by my earlier comments, like that is not happening.
Frisch refused. He dictated to us that we would not be drinking this, which is fine. Again, I don't drink a lot of whiskey, so that's okay with me.
Yeah, we'll save these for Jesse. So, as you guys are getting back to the topic,
Yeah.
as you're talking stock versus original photography, did it come down to like one is superior than the other, or was it more like
No,
conditional on a whole lot of things?
definitely conditional.
Okay.
Yeah, that like there's a time. I think you kind of mentioned this. There's a time and a place for both, and no, there are some like hard and fast rules, but really, it's kind of comes down to like budget and use case more than anything. So.
Well, and I think your source of stock, I'm guessing you guys probably talk a little bit about that. Where you
Mhm.
get your stock matters. Actually, I know you do because I think I was either in the room or I was near when you recorded
Yeah.
this. I don't recall now.
So
But so
yeah,
that's
yeah.
something. Yeah, so it's not going to be like a things Jesse hates stock photography, don't do stock
Mhm.
photography. It's going to be like
Mhm.
here's a time and a place for it and some reasons you might and some good
Yeah.
tips to make it better if you are going to use it.
Mhm.
But if you can shoot original, shoot original.
Yeah.
And sometimes that makes a lot of sense as well.
Yeah, we touch a little bit too on, like, the licensing of stock, and that's one thing that I really caution people to be aware of, is making sure that you won't find yourself with a cease and desist or, lofty attorney's fees because you were using something you weren't supposed to that you found on Google.
Yeah, or somebody does a DMCA takedown on it and suddenly your site has no images
Yeah.
because they were broken
Mhm.
because those links were broken from the
Mhm.
person you
Yeah.
stole it from.
Yeah.
Or you get a nice note from the government that you're in violation of a federal law.
Yeah. 'Cause it's like it's not a don't do that. It's like
Yeah,
pay you
so
people deserve to be paid for their work and fairly compensated for the work that they're doing, so.
but I thought that if I found it on Google, it was
Oh goodness.
okay.
I don't think we have time for that right now.
Caitlin's gonna kill me. It is not okay to just use something you find on Google, which
No.
they probably cover as well. But yeah, so why don't we,
Let's jump in.
yeah, let's get into it. So Caitlin and Jesse talking about stock versus original photography. Enjoy.
Welcome back to Cocktails, Tangents, and Answers. I'm here with Jesse, our beloved Chief Creative Officer at Antidote 71. How are you?
Good. Thanks for having me back.
Yes. This is my dream episode. I'm so ready. I'm pumped. We're here today because you're gonna educate us and I'm gonna help the differences and benefits of stock versus original photography. I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's a good one.
It is. So to start, can you tell me and us, I guess, tell us, the audience, major differences between stock and original photography?
I think the main difference is obviously stock is just pre-made and they put it out there for all the world to see.
Mhm.
Anybody can purchase it and use it as they see fit.
Yes.
An original, you're paying a professional photographer.
Hopefully.
Yes.
Hopefully you're paying a
That
professional.
also makes a big difference.
We'll get to that.
Yes. And you can get, it's really custom, so most of it is either your space or your actual people, specific things to your company and culture that you can really kind of pinpoint with original photography that you can't really get out of stock.
Yes. Do you find between the two, one being more valuable or important than the other?
I mean, obviously anytime that you can use original, I think it's probably better.
Yeah.
But not everybody can do that all the time. So there's definitely benefits of both. There's good sides to both. There's downsides to both as well. So
Yeah.
I think it just depends on kind of your situation and what you can afford, what you can kind of manage at the moment. Is it a quick turnaround thing? Do you have time for a whole photo shoot?
Yeah. So that takes me, I guess, to like ideally when are you using stock photography? Like what types of situations does that apply?
Mostly smaller budget, if you need to purchase a few images just to get it out there. Some quick turnaround stuff is pretty good for stock because you can literally click like 3 buttons and you've got a photo downloaded. some of the plans can get a little expensive if you're buying like one-offs and they're like, hundreds of dollars or something. That's not a good option. But also, it's just good filler. Like, so if you have close-ups or stuff that doesn't need to be custom, stock can work just fine as a good second option for that.
Yeah, I think this is a good opportunity to cover too the importance of like appropriate licensure and using
very important
images that you've either purchased or that are part of your image library or copyright released, like that you have the right to use and share those images. I know small companies and even like larger entities can run into problems when a photographer finds that their image is being used inappropriately. You can either get like cease and desist letters, or that can go as far as like monetary damages depending on the use case. And like, so just encouraging people to be cognizant of the worst case scenario if you're not using appropriately licensed.
And the bigger the company, kind of the more trouble you can get in.
Yeah,
because you have the capital and budget at that point to either purchase it correctly and get your correct license, or get original photography. So that's pretty inexcusable when bigger companies are getting attacked for that.
I think so much of it too is just like a lack of education around that. So like I come at it as the photographer, like I want to be compensated for the work that I'm doing.
Absolutely.
And so I think when you break it down in that way, people start to understand where they're like, oh no, this is like a product that you have made and I can't just have it for free because it's on the internet. Like,
I really struggled with that like early in my career, like especially like in school too. It was like, oh, all this stuff, like for student work, it's a little bit different.
Right, because you have like 6 cents and thousands of dollars of student loan debt, which is like a little bit different.
Actually doing anything with your work.
You're not selling it.
Right,
yes.
It's just for learning purposes at that point. But even when I got into like the workforce and was searching for stock photography and would run into one that like I wanted to use for a project, but it was only for editorial use.
Yeah.
And you have to be super conscious of that because it's like, oh, well, that's not going to work. So you got to find something else. So yeah, definitely. That was a good point.
If there's one takeaway I want you all to have, it's that please license your images properly. And that I think takes us to a situation for original photography. When you're creating your own, you kind of have carte blanche license to use those however you'd like, depending on the agreement that you have with your photographer, obviously.
Yeah, but most of them are really flexible and super good on that side of it. But yeah, when you need that extra touch and you can get kind of really personal with what you're shooting, you can kind of pick and choose your shots, and it really starts to show your personality and the culture of either your people or your business as a whole, or really whatever, maybe your product.
Yes. I think that's a great call out too, is like trying to use stock product photography can be really misrepresentative of your brand. And then you run into problems where like, this is not what I ordered. Like,
yeah, that's terrible. I think we've all probably been part of that. We're looking at something online and
I got catfished.
It's really nice. And then you get it, you're like, that's not the same thing.
Scale is important as well. Yeah. Now, I like, as it relates to our business, I'm really excited to get some new imagery in our new space. Like, it's just to showcase a little bit more of our personality. Like, that's gonna be fun. I'm looking forward to that. When we talk about stock photography, I always think of like the worst case scenario. And
those are the funnest ones,
right? Where you're like, oh, that's an interesting choice. There's one, this is not like a worst case scenario, but there's one, we used like a filler iStock image on a client website mockup, and that woman shows up on like suggested ads for me now, like from a completely that I was like, oh, she's an attorney, what is she doing in this HR platform? But I'm like, that's not
that actually happens. The more that you look at stock photography, you start to pick up on the models. Like, we see this one guy for like the senior living or like retirement stuff, and he's everywhere.
He's just like a handsome old dude,
he's just like living his best life. He's on a boat, he's chilling with his grandkids. They're different all the time.
How many grandkids do you have, Bob? This seems like a lot of children.
Very interesting family. His life is fascinating. But every time I see him, it's like, oh, it's Bob.
He's back. I think we
What's
should
Bob
do
up to
like a
today?
stock photography after dark episode where we just like write
We
life
should just be
stories.
scrolling through,
Yes.
scrolling through iStock. Well, we have a channel for that and Click.
We do. Like,
We throw all the really terrible examples.
what
in.
was the creative direction given to this? Like, there was some like post-apocalyptic, like war paint, like automatic weapon.
Yeah, it looked like Mad Max.
Just great. And we're like, how?
Had
Who's
been a fun
using
photo
this
shoot.
on there, right? Yeah, I bet they had a blast making it. But is there like a worst case or like when you think of an inappropriate or bummer use of stock photography, like what comes to mind?
Well, the first one is just kind of a goofy one that I always think of because
I can't wait.
It just sticks in my mind. It's the episode of Friends where Joey is just doing like the modeling, and he's in a photo shoot and is just completely oblivious to everything like Joey is, and then he sees himself on a poster for VD
because he's like really excited for like a second where
Oh,
he's
he's
like,
super
hey,
excited.
that's
It's
me.
me.
And then he's like, that's not me.
I don't
And that's
have
none of this is true about me.
I think it actually happens when he's like walking with a girlfriend or like a
Yes!
date or something too.
It's
So
been a
it's
long
like
time
super
since
embarrassing.
Yeah, right.
But that ties into like real world examples where with stock, you don't know who else is using those photos. So it could be something, if you've kind of got like the old man Bob example, like if you're using him for like your cool retirement, financial something or the other, and he's in, ads or other businesses for something completely different.
Totally different.
If people stumble upon that just like we do, that could hurt your brand potentially.
Yeah, or be even just like at the baseline be confusing for people where they're like, wait, what am I looking at?
Isn't that the retirement community? What?
Yeah, how often are you using like reverse image search when you're like, can you find this somewhere else and tell me whether or not it's a bad idea?
I think we've actually done that a few times. Got some pretty interesting results. It's like, okay, we're gonna stay away from that image.
Maybe we'll just eliminate that shoot from our choices. Do you have any like takeaways, like a final thought?
I mean, like I said,
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Babe.
One isn't.
If we're gonna remember one thing about this.
Yeah, it's that neither one of them is inherently good or bad.
Yeah,
they're both pretty neutral options, and it's just how you use them. Yeah. Stock can be great. It can be super efficient and helpful. It can fill in when you don't have
in a pinch
options, and then you're in a pinch. And original is always great too, but it comes at its own downsides. So both are really good options. We use both of them. You just have to be careful with how you're using them. Yeah.
Well, as always, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
Thank you.
Apparently, I didn't swear enough.
I don't think we had any swear. There were no swears.
You take not that this time either.
You take that E off of our description. My mother will be so proud.
Maybe we'll get it back up at some point.
That's it for another episode of Cocktails, Tangents, and Answers.
We hope it was as much fun to listen to as it was to make.
You can find me on Twitter or Instagram at @RichMackey. I try not to make it too difficult. It's just my name. And you can find our agency at Antidote_71. That's ANTIDOTE_71 on Twitter and Instagram as well.
And you can find me at home sipping a craft cocktail prepared by my in-home bartender. It's my husband.
We'll be back with another episode every other week and a whole new cocktail recipe, plenty more tangents, and of course, answers to those pressing marketing questions.
And if you'd like to send us a question, you can go to ctapodcast.live to send us an email.
Or you can call our hotline at 402-718-9971 and leave us a voicemail. Your questions might be used for future episodes of the podcast.
For now, like and subscribe and tune in next time.